There's something about 4 a.m. that the rest of the world doesn't understand, something sacred almost. Most people think it's too early, too quiet, too dark, but maybe that's exactly the point. I didn't always wake up early. In fact, I used to dread the sound of the alarm clock like it was some cruel joke, dragging me out of dreams and comfort. But then, slowly, one decision at a time, I started getting up before the world did. And what I found there wasn't just more time, it was more me. At 4 a.m., the world hasn't started demanding anything yet. No emails, no noise, no expectations, just stillness. And in that stillness, there's room to ask the questions we usually run from. Who am I becoming? Why am I doing this? Am I proud of the person I'm building brick by brick? Most of us live our lives reacting to what happens. The day starts and we're already behind. We're chasing tasks, putting out fires, scrolling through someone else's highlight reel. But waking up at 4 a.m. isn't about productivity. It's about reclaiming authority over your life. It's about stepping into the driver's seat before the world even knows you're awake. And here's what's interesting. When you wake up that early, you can't lie to yourself anymore. You can't pretend that you'll start tomorrow, because tomorrow is now. There's no distraction to shield you. It's just you and whatever you've been avoiding. I remember one morning stepping outside with a cup of coffee while the stars were still out. It was cold, quiet, and I just stood there breathing, thinking, feeling, and I realized I hadn't taken a real breath in weeks, not one that reached all the way down into my lungs. We go so fast, don't we? Faster and faster, chasing success, approval, numbers, deadlines. But what if the most powerful move isn't to speed up, but to wake up? I don't think discipline is about punishment. I think it's about love. It's saying, I love myself enough to do what's hard. I respect myself enough to show up before I feel like it. And waking up at 4 a.m. is an act of that self-respect. You're proving to yourself that you matter. That your thoughts, your body, your mission deserve intentional time. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you gave yourself a full hour to think, uninterrupted, no phone, no notifications? Just thinking, planning, feeling. At 4 a.m., you can hear things you missed during the day. Ideas, intuition, truth, your own voice. Most people wait until the pressure forces them to change. They wait for burnout, breakdowns, rock bottom. But what if you stopped waiting? What if you started building strength before life demanded it? People say, I'm not a morning person. But I think what they mean is, I've never had a reason that lit me up enough to wake early. You don't need to become someone else. You just need to remember who you were before the noise of life drowned it out. And the quiet of 4 a.m. helps you hear that again. I know someone who started waking up at 4 a.m. after a divorce. He said he felt lost. He didn't know who he was anymore, but every morning he showed up for himself. He journaled, he read, he walked, and in the quiet he rebuilt, not with noise, not with drama, but with a quiet, relentless devotion to becoming someone he respected. That's what this is really about, turning your own respect again. It's not glamorous, it's not Instagram worthy, it's coffee in silence, it's reading when you could be sleeping. It's choosing discomfort over convenience. And it's powerful. People talk about legacy as if it starts when you're gone. But your legacy is built in your habits, in the little choices you make when no one is watching. That's why waking up early feels sacred. Because it's invisible, and the invisible work shapes the visible results. You may not see the change right away. You'll be tired. You'll question it. You'll wonder if it's worth it. But then one day you'll realize you're not reacting anymore. You're not scrambling. You're choosing. You're leading. You're creating space for what matters. And suddenly, life feels less like a race and more like a mission. It's not about having a perfect morning routine. It's about choosing to begin with intention. Even just sitting still, breathing deeply, asking yourself one honest question. That's enough to shift your entire day, and enough days like that. They shift your life. So why wait? What are you protecting by sleeping through your own potential? What are you missing because you're afraid to face the quiet? It's in that quiet that your clarity returns, your courage, your center. And maybe that's what waking up at 4 a.m. really offers. Not more time, but more truth.